Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Week 3 edition of Birds vs. Boys. We look back at the Eagles winning in Arrowhead again. Eagles finding a way, Aiden, to win once again, 2-0. The Cowboys finding a way to win in probably at one of the most insane games I've ever seen, especially it being 17-16 heading into the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden we're in overtime at a 37 game. So fireworks, craziness. But Aiden, right now, we always say if it's your first time here, this is the ADD of football show. This is going to be my flu game powering through the show, Aiden, because my mouth, so my 3-year-old bites her nails, and so I'm trying to kick that habit of me being Mr. Tough Guy Dad. I'm like, I'm getting the yucky stuff, that they put on your nails. So I ordered, we call it yucky stuff, you put it on their nails. So if they bite their nails, it tastes gross. So about an hour ago, I was like, I'm going to just try this. I cannot get this taste. It's in my throat. It's in my mouth. It's on my tongue. And no matter, I've eaten a banana. I'm eating an electrolyte, drinking electrolytes. I'm doing everything I can, but I'm going to try and power through this because my mouth is numb and it's disgusting and it's bitter. And I cannot believe this is something that people give to children. So I will not be.
So you sabotaged it. It was for the kids, though. So it sounds like you took it. I
wanted to make sure my child wasn't going to die, and needless to say, she probably would if I given this to her. So that's why I was doing my dad duty to make sure. It's the same thing as the dad tax, but worse. Like dad tax, if she has a snack or food, I'm always like, oh well, I need a bite of that because it's a dad tax. Same sort of thing.
Yeah,
but it was like that, dad, I want to make sure you can handle this, and I couldn't handle it.
I don't know if it's the same because that's food. That's like for apple slices to see if the bites are small enough so they don't choke to death.
This was like the bites are small edible enough. It's to make sure that I just want some delicious treat.
I think this was you pretty much like tasted glue.
But I'm glad I did because now I can't give it to my daughter because that'd be horrifying.
I'm also glad you did too, because I was going to come in here and I have to address that I think my house is crooked and my house is slanted. So every time I look at the webcam, I feel like I'm crooked. I am Leo on Shutter Island every time I do a podcast. So I thought I was going to come in here saying the most crazy thing to start the show, and you told me you willingly ate rat poison. So you actually got me off the hook. Even if I were on a hook, I'd slip right off because my house is slanted.
That's what happened. Speaking of slanted, seems the NFL is towards the Eagles and that tush push, huh?
Yeah, we can start there as we get into this week at 2-0, Eagles, Rams. I know it's not technically the game of the week, but I think it truly is game of the week. I'm really excited for it in the 1 o'clock window. Joe Davis, Greg Olsen on the call. Those are my favorites. Philly's playing the Dodgers this week, so we're getting a little preview with Joe Davis baseball version since he's a Dodgers guy. Really, really excited for that one. And yeah, I'm already pre-mad for the tush push talk that's going to happen on Sunday.
I wonder
like nobody's talking about the fact that these are two 2-0 teams, a playoff rematch, and they look pretty good. Like I think both teams have things they want to fix on offense. They look pretty. Like it feels like this could again be a playoff matchup, and we're talking about boys shoving ass.
I'm sure it's happened a lot, but I wonder how many times a team has faced back-to-back playoff rematches from the year before in a season.
Ooh, that's a great stat. That actually, sorry to go ADD real early. I swear this is related. Have you seen the Bills' schedule this year compared to like the Eagles' schedule where they're playing back-to-back playoff matchups?
Yeah.
Let me just read it for the people just in case. Because I found this out today and I found it to be mildly hilarious. They play the Dolphins Thursday night football, probably a good game fantasy-wise. So they have the Dolphins at home, the Saints at home, the Patriots at home. So they have 3 straight home games against teams without a winning record. Atlanta, bye week, Carolina, Chiefs at home, Dolphins, Bucks, Houston, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati now, before Joe Burrow comes back, New England, Cleveland, then the Eagles, and the Jets. There is a very, very legitimate chance they don't play a playoff team until week 11 at home against the Bucs, and then not again until the Eagles at home on December 28th. That's what the Bills are staring at right now.
And to continue with the ADD-ness of the show, the one thing that just stuck out in my brain out of you listing all of those teams is what the hell happened to the Texans? They were the cool team. They were the up-and-up team. They were one of our teams. CJ Stroud was the man. There's so much talent on that team, and it's like they're just so mid and blah, and they seem to be going back to the Texans of old where they're going to win just enough games in a shitty division to make sure that they are that first playoff game on Saturday afternoon that no one's going to watch.
And they're 0-2. Right. Maybe. I did a winners and losers list video this week. Thank you to anybody who watched that. I had the Texans on the losers list because they are regressing in every form. But I think my overall frustration, one, this isn't a frustration with them. This is just an observation. Is every offensive line just bad now? I think pretty much every offensive line is just bad, Texans included. We're seeing some bad offensive line play. But yes. I said this about the Texans. How do you not have a running back? Like, that's the one position. Left tackle, pretty hard to find. Lockdown corner, really hard to find. Edge rusher, tough, but not impossible. They don't have a running back. I said running backs are like cooking shows. Like, you can find one that you like and you like what the chefs are making on pretty much any network, any streaming service. Like, these competition cooking shows, they are a dime a dozen, but they seem to work for everybody. And that, except for the Texans, they can't find a competition cooking show that works for them in the form of running back.
And there are teams with surplus right now. Like, the Jets seem to have like 3 dudes. So
they've been trading Breece Hall for months.
I just want to see here as you're saying that real quick. Let's just see here.
And then I promise I'll get back to the game of the week.
Jamal Williams, Zach Moss, Gus Edwards, Amir Abdullah, Chase Edmonds, Devontae Freeman, Josh Kelly. All those dudes are sitting on a bench, on a couch somewhere. I mean, is it worth a call?
Like, you didn't want to give a call for Tank Bigsby in the 6th round?
Yep. I mean, Zach Moss is only 27.
There's so many guys.
Yeah.
There's so many guys. They could have signed Javonte Williams like the Cowboys did.
How about that?
He was there. Rico Dowdle could have gave him a call.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. So Texans, man, brutal team that the Texans lost to. Los Angeles Rams coming into Philadelphia. I have a few things if we want to start with this game.
Absolutely.
I think there are talking points about the Eagles. Let's talk about how to fix those talking points, right? On every news network these days, you hear about the problems. I'd like to hear somebody offer some solutions. Let's offer some solutions to the Eagles. All right.
Let's go.
Okay. They are moving there's 2 problems, and they're pretty elementary. They're moving too slow. They're getting to the line, and there's 10, 11 seconds left on the play clock. Get there faster. There's that John Wooden quote where it's like, be quick, don't hurry. That's where the Eagles need to be. You don't need to run an all-out hurry-up offense, but play with some rhythm, play with some pace, get to the line quicker, and that way you have more time to digest what the defense is going to do. So right there, pretty simple one, right? Like, just work quicker.
Yep. Work quicker, as quickly or as fast as you can. Like,
yeah. And it, like I said,
at your earliest convenience,
doesn't need to be the speed package. They don't need to be Sonic the Hedgehog out there, but just play with rhythm. They almost slow themselves down. They're slowing down their own offense. It's like the ball in basketball is sticking to one person instead of moving it around and playing with some pace. So I would say very elementary stuff that we can fix. Get to the line quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they get to the line, number 2, they are very predictable pre-snap. They are telegraphing what they're doing. They are telegraphing, might not even be the right word. They are telepathically telling the other team what they're going to do based on their pre-snap formation. If they're in pistol, they are running it. If they're in shotgun, they are throwing it. There were 3 times when they were in shotgun where they ran the ball. 2 of them were draws on 3rd and 15 and 3rd and 16. So they're getting to the line slow. And for them, the defense, they know what's going to happen, run or pass based on the formation. There's no audibles being made because we're getting to the line so late. So the defense is just getting to the line with 10 seconds, saying this is a run and reacting that way. You're playing right into the defense hands. So
tell me, is this for you? Is this a Nick Sirianni problem, an offensive coordinator problem, or a Jalen Hurts problem, or kind of a mixture of a recipe of all of the above?
I think it's a mixture of all of the above. I think, and when I say problem, it's again solvable, fixable. And they even tried on the very first play of the game. They went play action. They had A.J. Brown 1-on-1 deep. They wanted to take the shot. Grant Calcaterra is like a New York subway turnstile. People are going through and they're not paying. Everybody's right through, and it blew up the play automatically. So right there, they tried to be unpredictable and they couldn't execute. So it's hard to put that on the coaching staff or on Jalen Hurts. And again, short-term solution, Dallas Goedert will be back. You would have a better blocking tight end to be able to do that. So it is that trio. And I think, again, they start to get in this mode of, well, we'll just win by not making the bad play, right? Like they don't want to get the good play, which is the deep shot, but they don't want to take the risk of having the bad play. So they're like, we'll be predictable. We'll turn this into a slog, and we'll go down the field that way. I think they can open it up a little more, and I kind of expect them to.
Is it because they count on their defense so much, or
I think they just do like I think in that game they were relying on their defense, and their defense earned it. They were awesome in Kansas City. I think this week you need to be less reliant against the Rams, who we'll get into them in a second, but I think you're expecting more offensive firepower than the Chiefs. But I just think they get into this mode, especially in second halves, where they say to themselves, well, don't make the big mistake. Where our offensive line is good enough, we just believe that we could line up, they could know it's a run, and we'll still run it. I don't think that's necessarily always the answer. And I think, again, 2 weeks in, that's something that you can learn and grow from, where you could come out this game, week 3, based on everything that the Rams have seen on tape, and they're going to think, hey, they're up 6 in the third quarter. We know that they're going to try to establish the run right here on first down. That's when you turn in pistol, do play action to Saquon, and you get a route over the middle to A.J. Brown. Like that's your moment. And you're just waiting. They need to evolve. Right now, we're a Charmeleon. We need to make it to Charizard is all it is.
I wish I knew what that meant.
You didn't play Pokemon?
No, I think it was a little bit after me. I don't know. I think it was starting when I was there, but I never got it. I mean, I know the names, but I don't know like how you jump from one to the other or anything.
Oh yeah. Well, if Charmeleon does play action enough in the pistol formation, he evolves into a Charizard is pretty much the game. And then you fight like trainers in the Pokemon gyms. So we are fighting Sean McVay this week in the Pokemon
Speaking of
gym.
Sean McVay, who apparently tore his plantar fascia in his foot while coaching last week.
Everybody's got turf toe.
He does have that like get back coach that he hired a couple of years ago. That big dude who, because he does run so much, and the dude literally like grabs him to keep him off the field.
Should have grabbed him that time before he tore it.
Maybe he did, and that's why he tore it.
Maybe he did. That's why he tore it. Now, here's something. We need a different term for turf toe. Turf toe, I don't know where we came up with turf toe, but it does not accurately assess what that injury is. You know, turf toe is just tearing ligaments in your foot.
Yeah. It almost like when I think of turf toe, it makes me think of like somebody has like gout or something.
Yeah. Or like tendonitis, like, oh, yeah, you pushed it a little too far during your run club and now your toe's a little achy. No, you tore the ligament in your foot.
Yeah, it's not like it's called like turf knee when you tear an ACL or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be like, you know how pitchers, like if they throw their elbow out throwing too hard or whatever, it's not like we go, man, he's got a case of he's got pitcher's elbow. He's got mound elbow. Like, no, he tore his UCL. Tommy John surgery.
Tommy John. Then maybe they should name it after somebody who had turf toe really bad, like Tommy John.
Yeah,
you got
we'll
Joe
call it
Burrow toe.
Burrow toe. Yeah, Burrow toe sounds that's that. Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. Well, yeah. So I would definitely want to touch on that. But like I said, everybody's got problems. Let's solve solutions. I think overall, the Eagles kind of just need to evolve a little bit in what they're doing pre-snap. A lot of that can be solved by getting to the line quicker. And I think it's even more solved by having the right personnel. When they have two tight ends on the field, it is signaling that they are going to run 98% of the time, literally 98% of the time. But if you're able to switch that up, they just weren't getting a lot of blocking from their tight ends. If you have Goddard back, maybe you're in less two tight end sets, trying to get extra blockers on the field. That's correctable. So all of these things I hope to see evolve, and hopefully starting this week, because I think they're going to need to put up points. And you look at what they did against the Rams last year. Pretty good job throwing the ball. We forget that because of Saquon going off, but they actually did a really, really good job in the pass game as well. And one of those games, they played at half of a blizzard.
Literally. That was such a fun game.
That was awesome. No snow this week.
No.
If there is, we got issues.
I will continue to say it because I said it all last year too. I don't believe anyone's coming into the link and beating the Eagles until I see it.
And we're here. I think this would be the best at-home test they're probably going to face. Because they got the Packers on the road. They got the Bills on the road. So we're at that moment where you have a viable opponent. Now, again, you could walk in and the Rams might be expecting this lethargic offense that runs it and slogs it, and they go out and open up the playbook on them. And I think that's kind of what Eagles fans are hoping and expecting. And I think you could see that a little more. And over the course of this Jalen Hurts Sirianni time together, I think they recognize when it's time to kick it up a notch, when it's time to take a little pre-workout to get the pump going in the game. And they need to regroup a little bit and get more aggressive and open up the passing game. This feels, again, like one of these moments against the Rams. And that should help because the Rams are down a starting quarterback. So this very much feels like a game to me that, as elementary, again, as this sounds, because I keep talking about these elementary football things, this is going to be a game of whose star receiver duos can get themselves open and get the ball the most, because we have a weak cornerback too. They are down a starting cornerback. Get your stars the ball the most.
Could it be a situation like the Eagles fans did in the past, aka bullying the team into running the ball? Could it be the opposite now, where they bully them into opening it up?
Pass the ball. Pass the ball.
How funny would that be?
How far we've come. We've come full circle from run the ball chants and cheering when they run to now we'll be doing pass the ball chants and cheering when they throw it to AJ.
Even though you have the best running back in the league.
Yeah. And Saquon's like, wait a second. I had 2,000 yards. What do you mean? I had 200 yards twice against this team. Give me the ball.
Please. Throw it to me too. I don't care.
Throw it to me. Yeah. And hey, I think some positives. Shane Haff did a great job breaking down the all 22. You know, they were great in blitz protection against the Chiefs. And Steve Spagnuolo blitzed, right? It was 75% blitzing. You're facing I don't know how much the Rams are going to blitz, but you are going to be facing a pretty good defensive line. Especially, I love Jared Verse. He showed what he was able to do last year, so you're seeing him again, and I think he's going to be right in the next chapter in his rivalry with the Eagles and Eagles fans. So it's good that you're good in blitz protection. You seem to know what's coming, and you seem to know what angles they're hitting you at. And the one time you took a deep shot, you played it perfectly. You knew the blitz was coming. You knew you had one-on-one. You're like, I'll just take my chance, loft it up on a third down to Devontae Smith. Perfectly executed. So that's what you want to see.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know. I just feel like also the Eagles seem to, and Jalen Hurts respond like last year.
Yes.
Like everybody was talking about not throwing the ball, and AJ Brown being interviewed like, what's the problem? He's like, passing game, the book thing. And then like first play was just like a bomb to AJ Brown. Like, so I think after last week, everybody's talking about the end of the game. And no, you didn't throw for 100 yards. I mean, he threw for 101, so he did. But I think he only accounted for 116 total yards. He had 15 rushing. So
yeah, he didn't run either.
I think this is going to be a game where they're going to come out throwing the ball because they do listen. And I think it's, this could be a game where all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're in the third quarter and Hurts has 250 and 2 through the air.
Yeah, adapt and adjust, right? They weren't throwing the ball, but now I think teams are going to sell out more on the run. They're going to blitz a lot. Then you start taking your chances in the passing game. And another thing that Kevin Patullo brought up this week, there hasn't been many designed runs for Jalen Hurts, but those are coming. And what set them off in the playoff game last year against the Rams was a designed run by Jalen Hurts that put their first score on the board. Yep. So I think you see a little bit of this week. I think you see a more diverse playbook. And I just hope, like I said, just fix the two elementary things, get to the line quicker, doing that by playing with more rhythm and being more unpredictable in your sets. If your formation is under center, you can do play action. If you're in shotgun, feel free to hand it off. It just feels a little too predictable there. And if you keep teams off their toes, there's a lot of talent for them to account for.
It's going to be an interesting game, I think.
Before we switch to the Cowboys, I think there's something about Joe Davis being on the call. I feel like this has the makings of like Bills Vikings a few years ago with the Justin Jefferson catch of his life, and then Allen fumbled at the 1 yard line and they scored, and it was crazy back and forth. Joe Davis was on the call for Cowboys Giants last week, 40-37. What am I talking about? Like they just get the 1 o'clock chaos game. So I expect that. I have a sales pitch for you before we move on to the Cowboys.
Okay.
I can offer you a short yardage play that is super, super effective, works 90% of the time.
Do you have to false start on it?
You're allowed to, actually. Okay. They just don't call it. You can line up however you want. You can false start. You are allowed to shove the ball carrier. And your ball carrier, in this case, would be Dak Prescott, who's very strong. You're allowed to do all of these things on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You have the ability to practice this play whenever you want to and run it whenever you want to. Would you like to use this play or complain about this play? Your choice.
Two things. One, I have not heard anybody from the Cowboys organization or anybody complaining about it. So
no, I'm not saying.
I know. I'm saying, but I will say the Cowboys did run such a play this past weekend against the Giants. They just decided to fiddle fuck around with the clock and make it seem like they were just going to run it out, and then they snapped the ball, but it was a delay game, and Dak got 3 yards moving forward on the play. So,
shame. I love those.
Yeah, it's great, and yes, I would enjoy very much so the said play.
Where everybody, the sales pitch is for everybody. Every team is allowed to access this play. We've known since March that this play would be illegal,
and
there was plenty of time to.
I feel like the Cowboys' offensive line. Well, now Cooper Beebe's hurt; he's out 6 to 8 weeks. But they have Brock Hoffman now, who coming in, who's a very powerful. But I feel like the interior of their offensive line is where their strength is, right? It's their center and BB, and then Tyler Smith, who's now the highest paid guard, and then a first-round pick in Booker, who's looked good through 2 weeks. They have the power right there in the center, and then you, like you said, a big, strong quarterback. I feel like their line is built for this.
You guys would be good at it, actually. I think Dak is extremely strong. He might be one of the, I'd say, top 3 strongest quarterbacks in the league. He's tough to get down on sacks. Imagine on a tush push situation. So I think you guys are definitely equipped for it. But hey, again, everybody had 6 months to practice running this play, practice defending this play, and practicing defending this play. I don't know. I'm so tired of talking about it. I don't know how this continues to be a controversy. We've known about it. This is not a shock to people. This is a crazy analogy, but it reminds me of the president was campaigning. He was like, I'm going to invoke tariffs. And everyone was like, okay. And then he won. And he was like, I am now going to invoke the tariffs that I said I was going to do. And the biggest Google search that day was, what is a tariff? And it's like, he said it for a year.
Literally. We had time to figure it out.
Yeah. I think we're past what is tariff. It's like, I think we're past what is legal on the tush push. You had 6 months
to figure that out.
I'll say this. Last thing on the Eagles, last thing on the tush push. Like I said, I'm tired of talking about it. I think no matter what, they're getting penalized for it this week. The false start thing, the 2 times it happened, one was after a challenge and looked like it was Hurts was across the goal line. And 2, at the end of the game, when the ball carrier was already stopped and the play was blown dead, and then they stripped the ball. So the controversy coming from this just feels a little bit much, but yeah, if you just officiate this correctly and we won't have an issue. But here's what the Eagles do. First tush push. You go fake tush push, deep ball to AJ Brown. This satisfies everything that you're looking for. One, everybody's expecting the tush push. So you get a little trickery going. You're getting the ball to AJ Brown and you're saying, gotcha, to all the tush push naysayers. It's perfect.
One more thing before we get to the Cowboys again. What are this whole Tom Brady thing to me is kind of wild that he's in the booth.
Yes.
And he's doing the let's fucking go things at the end, but he's saying like, I'm not too involved. I'm not really involved with the Raiders, but then like he's got a headset on at the game. And then he's apparently having meetings 3 days a week with Chip Kelly. And then Geno Smith goes out there and goes 0 for 10 to start with 3 interceptions, which is hilarious. But like,
that was great.
Don't you think the NFL has to make him choose?
I do. I genuinely do. It's kind of crazy that we all knew about it, but when you see things visually, it puts it into a different perspective. And seeing him sit there with the headset on, you're like, oh yeah, this is kind of messed up. It's like Step Brothers, but he's like, all right, now the tuxedos seem a little fucked up.
And they're like, well, he's not allowed in the meetings, which also, if I'm Fox, like, I want my lead guy in the meetings with the teams, but like you're telling me the rest of the production team and his co-host is not sharing with him for the broadcast what they learned or when they announce it on the game.
So here's the perfect example. You guys play the Bears this week, correct? And Tom Brady's on the call.
Yep.
So he'll sit down with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson.
Yep.
And then the Bears will play the Raiders the following week. What do you think he's going to talk about in his meeting that he does every week with Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator for the Raiders? It is crazy. This feels like an issue.
Yep. Big time. Speaking of issues, Cowboys defense.
It was fun to watch. Made it exciting.
I don't know what Eberflus is doing. Let's hold on. Let's just talk. I'm going to talk offense real quick because it's going to be short. I think Javonte Williams has been outperforming big time anybody's expectations, and the Cowboys saw something in him. He's now 3 years removed from the injury. He looks strong. That touchdown run that he had, the Cowboys did not have a 30-yard run, period, last year from a running back. That was a 30-yard touchdown, which was an electric run. Dak has looked phenomenal, I think, through the first 2 games. I think he was actually a little better actually in the Eagles game, but he's been efficient. I will say that interception that he threw was not an interception. That ball hit the ground. I do not know how that was not overturned. I thought every turnover was supposed to be automatically reviewed. It was bullshit. And actually, Brian Schottenheimer came out at his press conference today and said so. But Dak has looked great. I think Pickens is starting to come into his own. little bit of injury issues right now. I mentioned Cooper Beebe. 6 to 8 weeks is a long time for your starting center to be out, but they have Brock Hoffman. He's gonna, he's been in the system. He played center for them before. He's a strong guy, so he's gonna fit in perfectly at that interior offensive line that they have. And I really love what I'm seeing between CD and Pickens, but there also has to be some stuff with CD not playing down to your opponent sometimes. Like I don't know if you saw that time where he was in the end zone and drew the PI and he was started pointing the fingers and he got the taunting call, which we talk about this too.
The taunting thing?
No, well, that too. But on that play, there were 4 penalties. 3 on the Giants and this taunting one on the Cowboys, and they just offset. I think if one team has 3 and you have 1, I think you should get something.
One of them should count. One of them should count.
Come on. Just offset the 2 and then something, because then they're just like, yep, still 3rd and 9. I'm like, what? And I don't know if you watched the beginning of that game, but I've never experienced something like that with an offensive tackle. They did you know this? They gained 120 yards on that first drive.
No,
because of all the penalties that he caused. He caused them 45 yards in penalties just himself on the first drive. And then he gets pulled off the field and he's fighting with people. Like, I didn't do anything wrong.
And the replay, it was so funny when he didn't even hold; he just swung at the guy.
Awesome. But okay.
But you got the Bears this week.
Yes.
Now,
but there's a couple things. Eberflus has been playing basically zone defense. But he's playing it with some players that just are not good at that. Like, that's not Trayvon Diggs's suit. He's a press corner type guy. He wants to jar. That's what he's good at. I don't know what Elam's good at. And
former first round.
Former first round. But I think what teams are figuring out is that in a pass-heavy league where a lot of defenses are keeping 2 safeties high and back, and they're like, you're not beating us with the 60-yard deep ball because that's what kills us. And we're going to basically dare you to run the ball. The Cowboys have gone the other way, where they're like, we're not going to run on us. We dare you to throw it. And they're like, okay.
We're going to specifically dare you to beat us with 60-yard bombs over our head.
And we're going to put a single high safety out there who everybody knows can't cover. We're just going to put him back there and say, let's figure it out. And you literally saw the Giants be like, okay. And they would just run at him until at the end, he was the person who got the interception to win the game. But there is a fundamental issue here. And it's across the board, right? People are like, well, it's the back end. Yes, there's major problems with Donovan Wilson being back there by himself. Malik Hooker wasn't much better. You're out Deron Bland right now. Your second round rookie and Revel is still not ready. Diggs is coming off a knee injury. So there is a lot of problems in the cornerback room as well as the safety room. But that also stems from your pass rush, guys. They're just not getting home. And I remember people telling me a couple weeks ago that Dante Fowler and Sam Williams, they just need time. Just give them their time, and it's time to shine, and they're going to outperform Micah Parsons.
They're so close.
Through 2 weeks.
It's okay, Rocky. Take your time.
Through 2 weeks, this team as a whole has 16 pressures. Through 2 weeks last year, Micah Parsons had 14 pressures himself at this point.
It feels like he has 24 pressures so far for the Packers.
He might kill someone next week in Dallas. Like a murder on my TV.
A murder on the dance floor.
But so you're seeing guys like even like Ezaraku, who we liked. It's weird though, watching him play. I'm not seeing the guy I saw on tape in Boston College using bend and finesse and quick step. My man's just trying to run down the middle of people, and so is Sam Williams. And I'm like, and we said that week one, like, this is the big boys now. You can't just run down the middle of Jordan Mailata. He's just gonna be like, oh, I don't have to dance around with you, and I can just stand here and anchor. Cool.
Yeah, you're playing right into his hands. Now that could be that you're just a rookie who hasn't figured that out yet. You know, this is your
Sam Williams
defensive end
doing the same
equivalent.
thing. Dante Fowler's doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing.
Well, as a Raku, I think I can defend Dante Fowler and year 8. I don't know if I can.
So, to add this all together, which is the funniest thing of all time, is that during the game, watching the things that we're speaking of, Jerry Jones picked up a phone from his suite, wrote some things down, and they literally signed Jadeveon Clowney in the middle of the game from the suite. Hilarious.
It seemed like that.
No, that is what happened.
It pretty much, the Eagles almost did the same thing. You saw, I know this isn't totally accurate, but they showed Howie Roseman like scrolling week 1, and Monday mornings, Darius Smith was on the team. He's like, who can I get? Defensive end.
So
I know that's a little crazy, but
I will say at least I think this Micah Parsons thing did something to Jerry. I think it sparked anger. I think it sparked like, okay, you know what? This is still my fucking team, Steven and Will McClay and you cap gurus. Like a little bit of the wild man's coming back.
Yeah.
And I like that a little bit. You know, I'm not saying he's going to go out and sign Deion Sanders tomorrow, but hey, there's big word on the street that Dexter Lawrence is completely done with the Giants and frustrated, and it's bleeding into the team. Make the call, Jerry. Would you be willing to give up one of those 4 ones you have in the next 2 years for Dexter Lawrence? Because I would, to put him there with Kenny Clark and with Osa. But those are the type of things now that people are feeling around Dallas. Like at least maybe we got that as a positive coming out of this Micah thing. And I will say also, Kenny Clark has looked really good. He's been strong. He's got a sack, and the interior of the defensive line, unlike the exterior of the defensive line, is performing really well. Solomon Thomas looked incredible the other day. He was on the field for 12 running plays, and he made 7 tackles on those 12 plays.
That's statistically, you can't get much better than that.
No,
it's just so funny. I didn't mean to laugh. It's just hilarious the amount of like names that are names that we know that are on the Cowboys. That it's just like they are like the actors that are in every sitcom. Where do I guy from? I definitely saw him in another TV show.
Javonte
You're in an
Williams.
episode of Psych as a guest star, but you definitely have your own show. Where do I know you from? That's every Cowboys defender at this point.
That's like me last night. I watched the first episode of The Paper, and I don't think I'm going to go to the second episode.
Have you watched Task?
No.
You got to watch it.
Okay. Have you seen the commercials for The Paper, though?
I have.
It's like the new one from The Office, but
yeah.
I don't think I can do it.
No, I should give one episode a try.
You don't have to.
Think about it. The Paper, in a way, is a former first-round pick.
Yes, that is true. That is very true. So this week in Chicago, at least they're not going against a veteran quarterback who has seen 8 billion snaps like Russell Wilson and who is historically one of the greatest deep ball throwers of all time. But Caleb Williams can sling it. But I think they can also bait Caleb Williams into some of those mistakes that he has been making. He has looked much better these first 2 weeks in terms of like, even though they got blown out last week, like getting to his reads and his progressions, like 1, 2, 3, and not just bailing out. Because I think Ben Johnson is trying to turn him into more of a pocket passer. But they have the opportunity because he is still a young quarterback that maybe the zone defense and what they're going to do is not just like Russell Wilson going like, oh, I've seen this before. I'm just going to chuck it deep to Malik Neighbors with 37 seconds left for a 45-yard touchdown, which was so predictable.
That was so funny. But I didn't even – I got all these texts like, I was like, They got 25 seconds, 3 timeouts. They need 3 yards to get in Aubrey's range. So
isn't that unbelievable? Like CD Lamb literally said this week, he's like, just get to the star logo.
Yeah.
Just get to the logo.
Now,
that's all we got to do.
I will say, if there's one thing to look at special teams wise this week, his leg is amazing. He could hit from 70. One of the toughest places to kick is Soldier Field in Chicago, so can't rely on that this week.
Nope.
Now, with the Bears though, I might be offloading a little stock in Caleb. I hate to say it.
Yep.
It just feels like the only time it works is when he's the wild card and everything falls apart and he can run around.
Yep.
Which doesn't feel sustainable. So
and I don't think it is fully sustainable, especially long term. I really don't.
Do you think? How confident are you this week? Because the Bears are 0-2, but they like you said, their offense has looked good at times. They really ran into a buzzsaw of angry Lions team.
Yep.
Vikings, that was brutal.
Yep.
That was a brutal loss. So where do you fall, like, trust tree wise with your team going into Chicago on the road?
I'm scared, man, because I think they're a desperate team right now in the Bears, and you just had this.
That's my
historic type win where it's just like you came back and Aubrey and everybody's talking about it and it's all over ESPN, and now you just have to go to Soldier Field against an 0-2 team. Can you rein it back in as the Cowboys and just get refocused and just be professional and move on and go take care of business? I don't know. I think it's a scary place to be honest.
Yeah. And not non-Cowboys related, I don't know how to read the Bears because they could go one of two ways. I know they're 0-2, but there are certain signs of life that you've seen from this team. We trust their coach. I think at 0-2, like we said, we figure they might be a little desperate to get a win on the board, especially at home. Now, on the flip side, they've had nothing but negative headlines where it's like Caleb doesn't pay attention. But Caleb was like, the coaches weren't in the film room with me. I don't know what I was supposed to do. I was watching film on my own. I know it's a new coaching staff, but it's the same GM. The GM right now, you and I can attest to this. I want production over projection in the draft.
Yes.
Tyler Warren could be a great safety net for Caleb Williams right now. They didn't take him. They took Colston Loveland, and Warren is out of the gates quick for Rookie of the Year. So is everyone just like throwing their hands up 2 weeks in, or are they going to go out and just put together like a good fight on offense? I truly, truly don't know.
I truly don't know either, but I think the Cowboys, what they are going to have to do is put up points. And I think they'll have the ability to do that because obviously the Bears are down their best corner in Johnson. He's out indefinitely. And the Bears do not have the pass rush that the Giants do. Listen, those 5 deep in the Giants, that's a problem. And they held up pretty good last week. So I think this is a week where they need Dak Prescott and CD and Pickens and Williams to control the clock, but put up points, because I feel like the offense for the Bears against this big question mark of a defense is such a question mark.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
So we were right last week in terms of it being a 13-10 game. We hit it spot on at halftime. I then thought the Cowboys would put up 34-37 total, which is true.
They did their part.
But I didn't think the Giants would do the same.
Yeah. We just didn't expect the Giants to also do their part.
Yes. Everything else we got right. We just didn't expect that. So I don't know. I think this is another week where I think this is like a 20. It could be anywhere from like a 28-17 game for the Cowboys or like 34-28, something like that.
I was thinking the same thing. This could be an all-out dogfight, or Chicago could lay down by week 3. Yep. And it could be 34-13 Cowboys. I truly have no idea.
I'm very interested to see what kind of nails he has this week. Like
nails? Oh, Caleb. I was thinking.
I know last week
I was playing with nails.
Oh, there you go. So we'll see, but it's gonna be a fun weekend all around. And I will say also, to end this show, since we're ADD, my wife told me yesterday, she's like, I booked The Polar Express that we're going on. It's Sunday in December like 7th or something. It's at 2:00. I'm like, awesome. She's like, I didn't look at the football schedule or anything. Like, it just, we had to book it. This is the only time. I'm like, great. So I'm looking on my phone and I'm like, Lisa. She's like, what? I'm like, the Cowboys play Thursday and the Eagles play Monday. I'm like, good job.
Let's go.
Good job. She's like, see,
Nice.
that's what I
Polar Express Sunday. That's awesome.
Which Daddy will still have Red Zone on his phone while Santa's giving out hot cocoa. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is our week 3 preview. We think that there are going to be 2 entertaining games between the Eagles and the Rams and the Cowboys and Bears, I believe, and just an overall good slate of NFL games that starts Thursday night. So if it's your first time here again, thank you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're at 993, so close. We keep getting closer. And I feel like once we smash 1,000 on YouTube, it's just going to take off. So tell your friends, tell your family. You don't have to be a Birds fan. You don't have to be a Boys fan. Just be a football fan. And this show is for you. We like to talk sports. We like to have fun. So tell your friends. It's a good time. If you're back at one of our loyal listeners, thank you as always. Hit the like. Put us in the comments what you think is going to happen this weekend in the NFL. And then anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there as well. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere. And make sure the socials are on point. Birds vs. Boys Pod, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the football. We always say, yeah, it's only week 3, but you're going to blink and it's going to be week 16. So enjoy it.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones.
Upside alert. Upside alert.
I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach.
That is
the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.